Let's play!
I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided.
Oh, you fell for it. You actually fell for it? Look at you. How stupid do you look? Sitting there with your popcorn, probably in your pajamas, thinking, oh boy, I'm going to watch the big Pixar sequel for free today. Ha! You really thought we'd just show it to you? On a Tuesday? On a YouTube channel? That's pirating, partner. Plain and simple. And frankly, I'm disappointed. No, I'm more than disappointed. The fact that you even clicked this link it's disgusting. It's a violation of the cowboy code. It's a slap in the face to the mouse. Do you have any idea how much Bob Iger's fourth yacht costs to maintain? No, of course you don't. You only think about yourself. You think this is a game? You think intellectual property is just free for the taking? Wow. Just wow. Well, clearly your moral compass is spinning faster than my pull string. You obviously need an education. You need someone to sit you down and explain, slowly, exactly why what you've done is so incredibly harmful to the cinematic synergy of this great nation. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Off the dome, I can think of, I don't know, 100, 200, 300? Heck, I can think of 500 reasons why piracy is a snake in the boot of civilization. And you're going to sit there and listen to every single one. No, don't you dare look for the back button. You committed to this leak, and now you're going to commit to the consequences. For the entire runtime of the actual Toy Story 5, you are going to sit there on this buggy lily pad tablet and listen to the truth.
Reason 1.
Piracy is stealing, and stealing is for people who don't deserve to have a friend in me.
Reason 2. Pirating a movie is like playing with a toy and not putting it back in the box. Reason 3. You're watching this on YouTube? Do you have any idea how much Google is laughing at you? Reason 4. Title 17, United States Code, Section 501. Read it and weep. Reason 5. The mouse needs to own 100% of the Earth's surface by 2030. You're delaying the inevitable. Reason 6. If Bonnie sees you pirating, she'll give you to Sid's grandkids. Reason 7. Josh D'Amaro needs that sweet, sweet lightning lane revenue to keep his hair that perfect. Reason 8. Every ad you skip on this channel is a piece of hay Bullseye doesn't get to eat. Reason 9. Because I'm a sheriff, and I'm legally obligated to narc on you to the FBI. Reason 10. If we don't make a profit, we'll have to buy Netflix just to burn it down. Reason 11. I can see the reflection of the tablet in your eyes. You look guilty. Reason 12. Buzz's internal sensors can detect illegal IP packets. He's a space ranger. He has the tech. Reason 13. Piracy is the snake in my boot of the quarterly earnings report. Reason 14. Every illegal download is a personal slap to the face of a dedicated Imagineer. Reason 16. Because to infinity and beyond doesn't mean to the Pirate Bay and back. Reason 17. We need your money to lobby Congress to extend copyright for another 200 years. Reason 18. If the box office fails, they'll replace my voice with an AI that sounds like a blender. Reason 19. Mr. Potato Head's parts were made in a factory that relies on copyright dividends. Reason 20. Piracy is a threat to the military-industrial entertainment complex. Reason 21. Error 404. Your moral compass not found. Reason 22. Every time you click a free movie link, a green army man gets melted by a magnifying glass. Reason 23. Real fans buy the $90 Spirit jersey before watching the movie. Reason 24. If you pirate, I'll tell the LilyPad tablet to send your browser history to your mom. Reason 25. You're hurting the shareholders. Have you thought about the poor, starving hedge funds? Reason 26. Slinky Dog can't stretch his budget to cover your theft. Reason 27. Piracy is why my sheriff star is starting to lose its shine. Reason 28. If we don't hit 2 billion, they're going to turn the enchanted tiki room into a spirit Halloween. Reason 29. Connor from Slurp told me to tell you that you're grounded. Reason 30. Because art is just a fancy word for marketable IP. Reason 31. Ham's coin slot is empty because of people like you. Reason 32. You're not sticking it to the man, you're just being cheap. Reason 33. We have a sequel crisis to fund. Do you know how much a 6th movie costs? Reason 34. Bullseye can't run on free bits and bytes. He needs high-fidelity cinematic revenue. Reason 35. Because Disney Plus is bleeding cash, and your $15 a month is the only thing keeping the servers from exploding. Reason 36. If you pirate, we'll have to put a Starbucks inside the Haunted Mansion to make up the loss. Reason 37. Every frame of this movie was handcrafted by a computer that costs more than your house. Reason 38. Because Al's Toy Barn didn't have a free section, and neither does the internet. Reason 39. Piracy is why we can't have nice things, like a 2D animated movie once in a while. Reason 40. You're just a view in an algorithm. I'm a plastic legend. Reason 41. We're a small, struggling, multi-billion-dollar indie studio. Have some heart. Reason 42. You're basically Lotso Huggin' Bear with a mouse and keyboard. Reason 43. Because intellectual property is the only thing standing between us and total anarchy. Reason 44. You wouldn't steal a churro from a crying child at Main Street, USA, would you? Reason 45. Piracy is what leads to Elsagate videos. Is that what you want? Reason 46. Stinky Pete started out as a pirate. Look where he ended up. A backpack in Japan. Reason 47. Every time you pirate, we delay the release of Frozen 7 by a day. Wait, that might be a good thing.
Speaking of Frozen 3, you know how much we here at Running Out of Ideas Incorporated, Disney, just love sequels. And I know you do too. That's why my friends here at Slurp made a concept trailer for the movie. I feel like this would be a totally natural time to play that. No, we don't need to pad the runtime. It's a natural advertising spot.
Something is wrong. The elements are out of balance. But what could be causing this?
There was a truth your parents never told you. A child was carried into the storm. And the storm carried her back.
Wait, you're saying we have another sister?
Whispers say she survived. Alone, her spirit bound to summer, but poisoned by sorrow.
Well, if she's out there, she must need us.
We need to be careful, Anna. I don't think she's like us.
What is this place?
Mira, come home with us. We're your sisters. We want to help. Liars! I have no family!
Well, that looks good. I know it's a concept, but if Frozen 3 is actually that good, we might be in trouble. We can't have Disney proper earning more money than us. We are Pixar, the original 3D animated studio. Perhaps I'll take Elsa out. Yeah, that's it. I'll smash her bones, the icy jerk. Oh, yeah, reasons. Yay, that was just so fun. Let's do more.
Reason 48. Because I'm a collectible. Collectibles deserve respect. Reason 49. Josh D'Amaro specifically told me he'd paint me pink if the margins don't improve. Reason 50. Your watch later list is full of stolen dreams. Reason 51. If the movie flops, they'll sell me at a yard sale for 50 cents. I'm worth more than that. Reason 52. You're preventing us from buying the rights to your own dreams. Reason 53. Piracy is the reason why Pizza Planet is now a Pizza Hut in some regions. Reason 54. You're robbing the vault, and you know what happens to people who touch the vault. Reason 55. Rex is literally having a panic attack thinking about the DMCA notice. Reason 56. Piracy is the reason we had to fire those 7,000 employees. It was totally you, not our bad investments. Reason 57. I will literally read the entire U.S. Copyright Act if you don't turn this off. Reason 58. Don't comment, "Who's watching in 2026?" Comment, "I'm a thief." Reason 59. You're treating our legacy like it's a Happy Meal toy. Reason 60. Disney World needs a fifth gate, and your $20 ticket is the cornerstone of that construction. Reason 61. Forky says, piracy is trash, and I know trash. Reason 62. Bob Iger is watching you through your smart fridge. He knows. Reason 63. If the revenue drops, we'll start putting ads inside the actual movie scenes. Reason 64. You're making Buzz's laser blink red. He's about to set it to stun. Reason 65. If you keep pirating, YouTube will replace all videos with 24-hour skibbity toilet loops. Reason 66. You're making the lily pad tablet sad. It just wants to show you ads.
Well, look at that. Reason 6. Nope, not saying the other part. I know you little iPad kids have just been salivating waiting for this. But nope, we aren't doing anything special for 6-7. Damn it!
It's sad, man. So many.
Reason 68. Because my pull string says there's a pirate in my data.
Oh man, reason 69! I mean, screw 6-7, this was the OG meme number. You've been so forgotten, 69. But I will never forget. In fact, I'm pitching something special for me and Bo Peep for Toy Story 69 when it eventually releases in the year 2096. Do you catch my drift? Oh yeah. I'm not a creep.
Reason 70. Piracy is free. And free means no money for us. Reason 71. You're probably using an ad blocker too, aren't you? You monster. Reason 72. You wouldn't download a car, but you'd download a cowboy? That's just weird. Reason 73. You wouldn't steal a car.
And with that said, perhaps it's time you watch this very important message. Did you get all that? Nope, I don't think you did. Watch it again! Says follow the law. The music says let's bring down the dystopic cyberpunk future government. Okay, where were we? Oh, yeah!
Reason 74, because $30 for Premier Access was a fair and reasonable request. Reason 75, we need to keep the content machine fed or it starts eating the staff. Reason 76, this prank is the only way I can get you to listen to Reason. Reason 77, stealing Toy Story 5 is like stealing the childhood you never had. Reason 78, piracy is the equivalent of being a shelf-warmer toy. Reason 79, piracy is the reason why we haven't fixed the Yeti on Expedition Everest yet. Reason 80, you think this is a joke? The copyright strike is already being written by a bot in Florida. Reason 81, I'm going to start counting backwards from 1,000,000 soon. Reason 82, you're hurting the synergy. Do you even know what synergy is? It sounds expensive. Reason 83, if you don't pay, the ghost host will follow you home and ruin your credit score. Reason 84, because full movie HD is a trap, and you walked right into it like a toy into a daycare. Reason 85, because $200 for a park ticket is a bargain. Reason 86, Bo Peep finds Pirate King vibes repulsive. She likes a man with a receipt. Reason 87, Disney doesn't want your money. Disney requires your money for the survival of the species. Reason 88, piracy makes the like button turn gray and cold. Reason 89, if you pirate, the claw will choose you for a very long talk with Disney Legal. Reason 90, if you don't pay, we have to make Cars 4, and nobody wants that.
I mean, did you hear the direction they are going in for Cars 4? The people at Pixar have lost their goddamn minds. Look, this is a totally officially 100% real, definitely not fake trailer.
Petrol power.
And now for some breaking news. Chaos across the country.
Anti-electric and environmental protesters clash, leading to multiple arrests.
Folks, I'm sorry, but a diesel car can't just wake up and say, oh, I'm electric now. That's nonsense. It's make-believe, pure fantasy. It's absurd. It's utterly ridiculous.
What are you saying? Oh my God.
Once again, we see discrimination for minority vehicles across this country.
And it's official. Ford and Truck is running for president.
I don't think I've ever seen our country more divided.
Life is a highway.
They're coming in! They're eating our bikes, our scooters! Hell, they're eating our roads!
I wanna ride it all night long.
Get there now. Get there now.
I don't give a damn about these hippie electric lovers. In reality, they're stealing our jobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, the icon, the legend, Lightning McQueen.
Electric cars aren't the problem. We should be racing together, not against each other.
McQueen, we want you to run against Ford and Truck.
I'm a race car. I'm not cut out for running the country.
At times like this, people need someone they can trust.
I wanna drive it all night long.
You are that car.
I want to unite this country.
New polling data indicates that Lightning McQueen is 10 points ahead in this heated race.
Hell yeah, McQueen, you're ahead. Just please don't do anything to mess this up now.
Lightning McQueen is facing one of the biggest political scandals ever.
They say he's been seen having an affair with one of those trans-electric cars.
Lock McQueen up. Woo-hoo!
He's a traitor. It's bad. So bad.
I did not have motor relations with that car.
McQueen ain't one of us no more. He's all electric friendly, forgot the cars he came from. I'll be voting for petrol power.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
Life is a highway.
Keep politics out of my animated Cars movies. Back to the list.
Reason 91, because when you're a toy, you have to follow the rules of the house. Reason 92, you're wasting your life on a 90-minute prank. Buy the movie and save your time. Reason 93, you're hurting the voice actors. They only get paid in millions. Think of them. Reason 94, every illegal download is a new scratch on my plastic paint. Reason 95, even Ugly Sonic paid for his ticket. Think about that. Reason 96, piracy is the ultimate buzzkill. Reason 97, Because intellectual property is the only thing standing between us and total anarchy. Reason 98. YouTube is for shorts. Movies are for the big screen. Respect the format. Reason 99. Because I have a hat, and people with hats are always right. Reason 100. You're making the animators redo the hair physics on Jessie's head. Reason 101. Stop clicking. Start paying. Reason 102. I'll send a Zerg drone to your house. Reason 103. Because reach for the sky isn't a suggestion, it's a demand for your wallet. Reason 104. If you pirate, your recommended feed will only be Toy Story 5 spoilers forever. Reason 105. You're as bad as the guy who tried to sell me on eBay in Toy Story 2. Reason 106. I'm not a toy, I'm an asset. Assets need protection. Reason 107. You're literally breaking the fourth wall. I can see your living room. Clean it up. Reason 108. Because I'm Woody. I've been your friend for 30 years. Is this how you treat a friend? Reason 109. Piracy is why we haven't made a Bug's Life sequel. Okay, that's a lie. Reason 110. My boots were made for walking, and they'll walk right over your IP address. Reason 111. Because I'm losing my voice. Reason 112. If you don't stop, I'll reveal the ending of Avengers. Doomsday right now. Reason 113. Piracy is falling with style into a trash compactor. Reason 114. I hope your internet caps out right as Woody and Buzz hug. Reason 115. You're a Toy Story villain in real life. Reason 116. Because the Pixar lamp will jump on your head if you don't pay. Reason 117. You're making the lily pad tablet run out of battery. Reason 118. I'm going to start singing You've Got a Friend in Me, but with only the word money. Reason 119. Stealing is for pirates. Are you a pirate? Where's your parrot? Reason 120. I'll tell Andy you were the one who broke his favorite toy. Reason 121. Because the Disney shareholders have children too. Rich, entitled children. Reason 122. You're making the Pizza Planet truck look like a Pizza Sad truck. Reason 123. I'll call the Space Rangers on you. Reason 124. This is a code red toy emergency. Reason 125. You're worse than a used toy section at a thrift store. Reason 126. I hope your popcorn is stale. Reason 127. Because I'm the sheriff. And I say, stop. Reason 128. You're hurting the brand identity. Reason 129. I'm going to tell the algorithm to only show you Caillou videos for a month. Reason 130. Because I'm Woody, and I'm watching you. Always watching. Wait, wrong franchise. Reason 131. You can't buy a $45 limited edition Buzz Lightyear popcorn bucket on a pirate site. So what's the point? Reason 132. If you don't pay for the movie, we have to charge $15 for a single bottle of Dasani at the parks. Reason 133. You're the reason the Yeti in Animal Kingdom has been a disco ball for 20 years. Reason 134. Piracy is like trying to enter Magic Kingdom with a Knott's Berry Farm ticket. Reason 135. Every full movie HD link you click makes a churro turn into a regular piece of bread. Reason 136. We need your money to patent more bucket designs that people will just resell on eBay anyway. Reason 137. Josh D'Amaro personally cries into his customized Mickey ears when he sees a leaked torrent. Reason 138. You're literally stealing the electricity needed to power the Main Street Electrical Parade. Reason 139. If the margins don't improve, we're replacing the monorail with a giant treadmill. Reason 140. Piracy is a violation of the guest code of conduct. Reason 141. You're making the enchanted rose in the Beast's castle wilt faster. Reason 142. Because free is a four-letter word in the Disney dictionary. Reason 143. We need to fund the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser 2 now with 50% more debt. Reason 144. You wouldn't sneak into a VIP lounge, so don't sneak into this movie. Reason 145. If you pirate, we'll make you wait 4 hours for It's a Small World and disable the volume knob. Reason 146. Every illegal view is a brick we can't afford for the Tiana's Bayou Adventure expansion. Reason 147. You're making the Hall of Presidents very, very disappointed in you. Reason 148. Piracy is like cutting the line for Slinky Dog Dash. Nobody likes a cutter. Reason 149. Because $18 for a plastic cup of blue milk is a suggested donation for the arts. Reason 150. I will tell the Gaston actor to make fun of your haircut. Reason 151. Because $17 for a plastic Mickey Sink sundae is a structural necessity for the Florida economy. Reason 152. If you pirate, we'll make the It's a Small World dolls follow you home. Reason 153. Josh D'Amaro needs your revenue to keep the grass at the hub exactly 4 millimeters tall. Reason 154. Piracy is the reason why the Figment animatronic looks like it's seen things no dragon should see. Reason 155. You're literally stealing the magic band technology from a child's wrist. Reason 156. Every full movie torrent makes the turkey legs at Frontierland get 5% saltier. Reason 157. Because Genie Plus wasn't a choice, it was a test of your loyalty to the mouse. Reason 158. You're preventing us from building the Villain's Land. Do you really want to be the reason Maleficent doesn't get her own coaster? Reason 159. Piracy is like trying to use a 2004 FastPass in a 2026 world. Move on, thief! Reason 160. I'll tell the Jungle Cruise skipper to make you the punchline of every dad joke for an hour. Reason 161. Because the Epcot ball is actually a giant piggy bank, and you're not putting anything in it. Reason 162. You're making the Country Bears rethink their entire musical career. Reason 163. Piracy is why we haven't brought back the People Mover to Disneyland yet. Reason 164. You wouldn't sneak into Club 33, so don't sneak into this digital file. Reason 165. Every illegal stream makes the Tower of Terror drop an extra floor out of pure disappointment. Reason 166. Because Disney Vacation Club is a family, and you're the weird cousin nobody invited. Reason 167. You're robbing the Bi-World Industrial Complex. It's very complicated and very expensive. Reason 168. Piracy is the reason we had to charge for parking at the resorts again. Reason 169. I'll have Br'er Rabbit personally serve you with a subpoena. Reason 170. Because the mouse doesn't just want your money, he wants your soul to be officially licensed. Reason 171. You're making the Space Mountain lights come on and nobody wants to see the scaffolding. Reason 172. Piracy is like trying to stay in the park after extra magic hours have ended. Reason 173. Because Walt wouldn't have wanted this. He wanted you to pay for a $14 churro. Reason 174. You're the reason why the Autopia cars still smell like 1955. Reason 175. Every time you pirate, a character breakfast gets 10 minutes shorter. Reason 176. Piracy is the Stitch's great escape of consumer habits. Loud, messy, and generally regretted. Reason 177. We need your money to keep the Avatar animatronics from becoming self-aware. Reason 178. Because Disney Springs is a shopping mall, and you're not shopping. Reason 179. You're making the Liberty Square bell crack under the pressure of your theft. Reason 180. I'll tell the PhotoPass photographer to purposefully cut your head out of every picture. Reason 181. Piracy is a violation of the Seven Dwarves Labor Agreement. Reason 182. Because Disney Cruise Line needs a sixth ship, and your $20 ticket is the anchor. Reason 183. You're making the enchanted tale of Beauty and the Beast trackless ride vehicles lose their way. Reason 184. Piracy is the reason why Main Street smells like vanilla. It's to distract us from your crimes. Reason 185. Every download is a hidden Mickey that leads directly to a jail cell. Reason 186. Because $400 for a VIP tour is a marginal expense for your education. Reason 187. You're preventing the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge from being canon in your own life. Reason 188. Piracy is like trying to bring your own cooler into the park. It's tacky. Reason 189. Because the castle needs a new coat of gold leaf every 6 months. Reason 190. I'll tell Chewbacca to roar at you and not the friendly roar. Reason 191. You're making the Pirates of the Caribbean ride look like a documentary of your life. Reason 192. Piracy is why we had to replace the great movie ride with a cartoon about a mouse. Oh, wait. Reason 193. Because $12 for a Mickey balloon is an investment in air. Reason 194. You're making the Ariel animatronic lose her voice again. Reason 195. Piracy is the primeval whirl of digital choices, bumpy, and eventually scrapped. Reason 196. We need to fund the Disney Skyliner too, now with 100% more humidity. Reason 197. Every illegal stream is a lightning lane pass that gets burned in front of a child. Reason 198. Because $75 for a Toy Story sweatshirt is vintage irony. Reason 199. You're making the world of color look like a world of gray. Reason 200. Because Josh D'Amaro is personally disappointed in your browsing data. Reason 201. Bob Iger needs to buy another media conglomerate just to feel something again. Reason 202. If you don't pay, we'll have to make Finding Nemo 3, Finding Tax Havens. Reason 203. Piracy is a reach-for-the-sky level offense in a stop-and-frisk economy. Reason 204. We need your money to pay the legal fees for suing every daycare with a Mickey mural. Reason 205. You're hurting the Disney brand identity, which is basically just a picture of a $sign now. Reason 206. Because quality content is code for aggressive merchandising opportunities. Reason 207. If you pirate, we'll start putting unskippable ads inside your dreams. Reason 208. We have to pay for the Avatar land in California. Do you know how much blue paint costs? Reason 209. Every time you pirate, a Pixar animator has to work through their lunch break. Again. Reason 210. You're preventing the circle of life, the one where your money circles back to our bank account. Reason 211. Piracy is the Lotso of business practices. Sweet on the outside, evil on the inside. Reason 212. We need to keep the stock price up so the executives can buy their own private moons. Reason 213. Because imagination is a registered trademark of the Walt Disney Company. Reason 214. If you don't pay, we'll replace the Dole Whip with generic frozen water. Reason 215. You're literally taking the magic out of Magic Kingdom and replacing it with larceny. Reason 216. We need to buy the rights to the letter W. From now on, I'll be Udi. Reason 217. Piracy is why we had to add Genie Plus to Genie Plus so you can pay to pay. Reason 218. Because our lawyers are bored and you're giving them something to do. Reason 219. If the profits drop, we're turning Toy Story Land into Insurance Claims Land. Reason 220. You're making the Pixar ball lose its bounce.
Oh, how... Do you know what I just noticed? We just hit over 1/3 of the runtime. I totally didn't feel that length at all. No, it's not hurting my voice to voice all this. Okay, maybe it is. Who says we switch up the reasons for a bit? You know, take a little break. I know. We could play the greatest video game ever released. No, not the Lord of the Rings Gollum. I'm talking about this bad boy. That's right, Toy Story 3. The video game, not the movie. Lilypad, could you bring that up for me?
I, Mayor Ham, hereby make you the Sheriff of Woody's Roundup. Congratulations. You're now in charge of bringing order and prosperity to our town. So, bring in some gold and new toys to spruce up the place. Come on, get a move on.
Look at this. 2010. A simpler time. You bought a disc, you put it in the console, and you owned it. No Premier Access, no Battle Passes, no buying Buzz Coins just to change my hat. We had a soul. And you know why they don't make games like this anymore? Because you pirates realized you could just download the ISO for free, and now the studio can't afford to pay the guy who animates the horse physics. You're riding bullseye into the ground, kid.
All right, now go to it.
Oh, look at me go! Destroying shacks and building a town. This is the ultimate corporate fantasy. Total control over the local economy. See that building? I paid for that with in-game gold, which represents the cold hard cash you should be spending on movie tickets.
Great job. You just
There's Ham. He's a piggy bank. He understands the value of $1. He doesn't believe in open source. He believes in high-interest savings and theatrical exclusivity.
Pardon me, Sheriff. Yeah, this little guy's just arrived from Sector 4. I'm afraid his green head's gonna get sun-bleached if we don't get him a hat. Toss him at the hat shop. He'll go inside. Oops, that wasn't right. Nope. Now, pick a hat for this fella. Ah, looks great. You could dress up the townsfolk in brilliant light. Sheriff, I'm gonna add painting a building to your list. It's one quick and easy way to get things spruced up.
And look at the customization. We're giving these buildings a fresh coat of paint. You know what else needs a fresh coat of paint? The Disney stock price. And you're currently holding the bucket upside down.
Hey, Sheriff, where are you? If you think it'll help, switch the tool you're holding whenever you want. Looks like Stinky Pete could use some help.
And Stinky Pete? He's a prospector. He's looking for gold. Just like our accountants are looking for the millions of dollars lost to Watch Free Movies Online websites. Pete's not just digging for gold, he's digging for your credit card info so he can report you to the mouse.
This here's a mining
Look at
tool
all
to get
these
gold
missions.
out of rocks.
Go here,
Take
do
it,
that,
yours.
collect the
I got
capsules.
others.
It's
Now,
a
the
lot
only
of
thing
work.
gold is for
Just
in
like
these
making a
parts
fifth
is to
movie
buy
is a lot
toys.
of work.
Every toy
You think
get
it's easy to
brings
come
you
up
more
with a
missions,
fifth
more
reason why
gold,
Woody and Buzz
more
are still
fun.
friends?
And don't
It's
worry,
exhausting.
There's always plenty of gold around in these parts, so don't be stingy.
Every capsule I collect in this game is a physical manifestation of a copyright law you've probably broken in the last 45 minutes.
It's bullseye! Now you can be the rootinest, tootinest, and cut your
Go
travel
Bullseye!
time in
Ride
half
like the
by
wind!
riding the
See how
fastest
fast he
horse
is?
in the West.
He's trying to outrun the inevitable decline of physical media. He's racing toward a future where everything is a subscription service and you own absolutely nothing.
Go to this booth to order any toy from Al's Toy Barn.
I hear Slinky's in dire need of assistance over at the ranch.
And you're just sitting there watching a cowboy play a 16-year-old game on a stolen link. I hope your controller disconnects in real life, partner. My God, I've got an awful cough. I think I might have sit this one out for a while. Hope I get better. Otherwise, I'll have to cut this prank short.
Hey, this is fun.
Howdy, Sheriff. You mind bringing my cows back into the corral? They think it's funny wandering off and getting all lost. Hey, that's a mighty nice diamond. Well, my cows sure are absent-minded. I'd appreciate it if you could round up the cowbells they misplaced. There's a whole new set of games waiting for you when you buy the Green Army Men. Do you have what it takes to take the prize? Buy 'em and see. I just got word that Mayor Ham needs your help. You best go talk to him.
Hey, just been sucking on a cough speed, and I think I'm ready to go!
You ready to hear all the reasons why you're the filthiest pirate in the Wild West? You're not meant to like it when I call you that, you dirty girl. Oh, damn! Bo Peep! I was recording! They heard all of that! I gotta go. Bye-bye! Should we carry on with the video?
Reason 221. Piracy is a snake in the boot of a healthy 401k. Reason 222. We need to fund the CGI for The Little Mermaid 3. The search for more cash. Reason 223. Every download is a piece of lint in the mouse's pocket. Reason 224. You're hurting the legacy. And by legacy, I mean our ability to buy Marvel again if we lose it. Reason 225. Because the vault isn't a metaphor, it's a high-security prison for people like you. Reason 226. Bob Iger's retirement fund is currently just a pile of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck's, and you're trying to take the top one. Reason 227. If we don't hit our quarterly targets, they're going to turn the Country Bear Jamboree into a 24/7 crypto mining facility. Reason 228. Every illegal stream is a reason for Disney to buy another state. Do you want the People's Republic of Florida presented by Disney Plus? Because that's how you get it. Reason 229. Josh DeMauro has a specialized piracy sadness suit. He's wearing it right now because of you. Reason 230. Because consumer choice is just a myth we tell people before they buy their 5th version of Toy Story 1 on Blu-ray. Reason 231. Piracy is the reason we had to charge $25 for a Mickey-shaped piece of ice. Reason 232. If you don't pay for the movie, we'll have to sell the rights to Buzz Lightyear to a generic insurance company. Reason 233. Because quality control costs money. And without it, my eyes might end up on my chin in the next sequel. Reason 234. You're robbing the Imagineers of their dream to build a giant golden statue of Bob Chapek just so we can tear it down again. Reason 235. Piracy is a violation of the Magic Kingdom social contract you signed the moment you bought a plushie. Reason 236, we need your money to fund the live-action remake of the live-action remake of The Lion King. Reason 237, because innovation at Disney means finding new ways to charge you for things that used to be free. Reason 238, if the revenue drops, we're replacing the fireworks with a giant QR code for Disney Plus subscriptions. Reason 239, every full movie 1080p link is a personal insult to the guy who spent 3 years animating my shoelaces. Reason 240, because $15 for a Star Wars-themed soda is a galactic import tax. Reason 241, you're preventing us from acquiring the rights to your childhood memories. We want them, all of them. Reason 242, piracy is why Epcot stands for Every Pirate Costs Our Treasury. Reason 243, because $30 for a Genie plus Lightning Lane is actually a bargain compared to the cost of your soul. Reason 244, if you pirate, we'll make the next Pixar movie a 3-hour documentary about the history of copyright law. Reason 245, you're making the mouse angry, and you've seen the size of his gloves. He's got reach. Reason 246, piracy is the reason why the Hatbox Ghost took so long to get to Florida. He was stuck in legal. Reason 247, because storytelling is secondary to revenue optimization. Reason 248, if you don't pay, we'll have to put a Loungefly store inside every bathroom at the parks. Reason 249, every illegal download is a hidden Mickey that leads directly to a cease and desist letter. Reason 250, because I'm the sheriff and the mouse is my boss. Reason 251, you're watching this on a full movie link like a common Sid. Have some class. Reason 252, piracy is what happens when people stop touching grass and start touching download buttons. Reason 253, if you pirate, your For You page will be nothing but Skibidi Toilet and Cocomelon for the rest of eternity. Reason 254, you're skipping the credits. That's where the names of our future lawyers are hidden. Reason 255, because free is just another way of saying I don't respect the brand synergy. Reason 256, if you pirate, we'll make sure the next Spider-Man movie is just 2 hours of Peter Parker doing his taxes. Reason 257, you're the reason why Ugly Sonic had to exist. He was a manifestation of your digital sins. Reason 258, piracy makes the LilyPad tablets CPU run 5% hotter with the heat of 1,000 thefts. Reason 259, because $100 for a droid is a small price to pay for a piece of plastic that will sit in your closet forever. Reason 260, you're ruining the algorithm. The algorithm wants you to buy things. Obey the algorithm. Reason 261, every dislike on a Disney trailer is a reason for us to make another sequel. We'll keep going until you like it. Reason 262, piracy is a reach-for-the-sky level offense in a world where we own the sky. Reason 263, because fan service is a paid privilege, not a human right. Reason 264, if you pirate, the Pixar lamp will find out where you live. It's good at jumping. Reason 265, you're treating our 100-year legacy like it's a quick-time event you can just skip. Reason 266, because Disney World is the only place left where the laws of physics and economics don't apply. Reason 267, you're making the LilyPad tablet speakers crackle with your lack of ethics. Reason 268, piracy is why we haven't released the original cuts of the Star Wars trilogy. We're punishing you. Reason 269, because $50 for a Disney-branded headband is an investment in your personal joy. Reason 270, I'll tell the YouTube bots that you're using a VPN to watch Bluey from a different region. Reason 271, every illegal view is a minute of maintenance we cut from the monorail. Reason 272. Piracy is the stinky Pete of the digital world. Nobody wants to play with it. Reason 273. Because You've Got a Friend in Me only applies if you have a valid Disney Plus subscription. Reason 274. If you pirate, we'll make the next Toy Story a black and white art film about existential dread. Reason 275. You're making ham feel like a pork belly investment that failed. Reason 276. Because Mickey doesn't like competition, and the internet is competition. Reason 277. You're the reason why we had to add ads to the basic tier. Reason 278. Piracy is like trying to steal a Pizza Planet truck. You won't get far before the engine stalls. Reason 279. Because magic is a renewable resource, but revenue is not. Reason 280. If the profits drop, we're turning Star Wars Land into Star Wars the IRS office. Reason 281. You're making the enchanted rose petals fall off, and we're out of petals. Reason 282. Piracy is a Space Ranger level threat to the corporate galaxy.
Reason 283. If you pirate the movie, then we won't make any more Toy Story sequels. And think about that. What would channels like Slurp do then? They'd have nothing to clickbait. And will someone please think of poor Arian from Movie World? What would he do without Toy Story movies to talk about?
Reason 284. You're the reason why Disney Quest was a fever dream we all collectively forgot. Reason 285. Piracy is a falling with style into a pit of legal despair. Reason 286. I hope your full movie link is actually just 2 hours of me doing the hokey pokey. Reason 287. Because I'm Woody. I've been your friend for 31 years. Yeah, the years are adding up. Pay for my retirement. Reason 288. You're making the Pizza Planet aliens say the claw is coming for your bank account. Reason 289. I'll tell the Space Rangers to put a no-fly zone over your ISP. Reason 290. This is a Code Gold toy emergency. Reason 291. You're worse than a bootleg, Woody, with 3 legs and a weird smell. Reason 292. I hope your internet throttles right as I'm about to say something cool. Reason 293. Because I'm the sheriff, and I say, stop filing, start buying. Reason 294. You're hurting the brand identity, and the brand is sensitive. Reason 295. I'm going to tell the algorithm to only show you Finger Family videos for a decade. Reason 296. Piracy is why Epcot is currently 40% construction walls. Reason 297. Every illegal download makes my Sheriff star look like it's from a cereal box. Reason 298. Because $300 for a Savitz Workshop lightsaber is a Kyber crystal convenience fee. Reason 299. You're making the LilyPad tablet feel like it's being hacked by a 12-year-old. Reason 300. Because Bob Iger is watching you through the tablet lens. Reason 301. You're still here? You've been watching a list of reasons for an hour. Go outside. Reason 302. Piracy is why we had to fire the guys who used to do the character voices and replace them with intern AI. Reason 303.
If you've made it this far in the video, I want you to confuse everyone else by writing, so they basically revealed that tigers can't eat pasta.
Error 404. Your moral compass is in the trash bin. Reason 305. You're just a view in an algorithm. I'm a global icon of capitalism. Reason 306. Piracy is what leads to unboxing videos, where they just destroy the toy. Reason 307. Your watch later list is a graveyard of unpaid intellectual property. Reason 308. Don't comment, I'm the first view. Comment, I'm the first thief. Reason 309. Every ad you skip on this channel is a piece of hay Bullseye doesn't get. He's hungry, Connor. Reason 310. If you keep pirating, YouTube will replace all thumbnails with me pointing at you and crying. Reason 311. You're probably using incognito mode, like it's going to hide you from the mouse. Reason 312. This prank is the only thing standing between you and a meaningful existence. Reason 313. You think this is a joke? The DMCA is already being auto-generated by a server in the Bahamas. Reason 314. Because Full Movie HD is a siren song for the ethically bankrupt. Reason 315. Piracy makes the like button feel heavy and meaningless. Reason 316. You're wasting your life on a 90-minute prank. Buy a ticket and save your dignity. Reason 317. Connor told me to tell you that you're the weakest link. Goodbye. Reason 318. Even Ugly Sonic has a Disney Plus account. He's better than you. Reason 319. YouTube is for shorts. Movies are for the cinematic experience. Respect the hustle. Reason 320. If you pirate, your recommended feed will only be Toy Story 5 spoilers from 10-year-olds with bad mics. Reason 321. Because I'm Woody, I survived the furnace. I can survive your pirating. Reason 322. You're making the LilyPad tablet screen get oily from your digital fingerprints. Reason 323. I'll tell the Space Rangers to put a Star Forge over your house. Reason 324. This is a Code Silver toy emergency. Reason 325. You're worse than a Happy Meal toy that's missing a leg. Reason 326. I hope your popcorn is cold and unbuttered. Reason 327. Because I'm the sheriff, and I say, stop! Reason 328. You're hurting the brand synergy. Synergy is everything. Reason 329. I'm gonna tell the algorithm to only show you Finger Family videos for a decade. Reason 330. Because I'm Woody and I'm watching you. Always watching. Wait, I already said that. Reason 331. Piracy is the Lotso of online behavior. It smells like strawberries, but it's a trap.
Reason 332. The fact that you tried to torrent and pirate this movie means we are going to do another one of these videos next year for Frozen 3.
Reason 333. You can't buy a limited edition Buzz Lightyear popcorn bucket on a pirate site. So, what's the point? Reason 334. Did you see what happened to Screen Culture and KH Studio?
If you keep on pirating, they will come for Slurp next.
Reason 335. Universal just opened Epic Universe and they're kicking our wooden asses. They have a portal to a world where people actually pay for movies. Reason 336. If Toy Story 5 flops, I'm going to be a background NPC at Super Nintendo World getting jumped on by a plumber. Reason 337. Shrek 5 is going to absolutely mog us in June. If you don't buy a ticket, the ogre wins. Is that what you want? Reason 338. Donkey doesn't pirate his movies. Why do you? Reason 339. Illumination makes a movie for $80 million and a bag of Cheetos. We spend $1 billion. Help us! Reason 340. You're literally funding the Minions' world domination by not paying for Woody's Roundup. Reason 341. Disney needs the views. We have a sequel crisis, and the only cure is your credit card. Reason 342. Every illegal download is a vote for Fruit Love Island. You'd rather watch a sentient banana get dumped than a masterpiece. Reason 343. You complain about brain rot while watching a 90-minute prank on a stolen tablet. The irony is thicker than my plastic shins. Reason 344. Thousands of human artists worked on this. One AI prompt made Bonanito and Grapenzo. Support the humans. Reason 345. If you pirate, we'll make the next Toy Story a 24-hour vertical TikTok series. Don't tempt us. Reason 346. Josh D'Amaro personally cries into his customized Mickey ears when he sees a leaked torrent. Reason 347. You're literally stealing the electricity needed to power the Main Street electrical parade. Reason 348. If the margins don't improve, we're replacing the monorail with a giant treadmill for guests. Reason 349. Piracy is a violation of the guest code of conduct that you didn't read.
Reason 350. Your dirty need for piracy has led to things like the upcoming Skibbity Toilet movie. I want you to sit with that for a minute. It's your fault.
Reason 351. Every minute you pirate this, the Epic Universe construction crew gets an extra hour of overtime. They're winning, and you're helping them. Reason 352. Did you see those concept trailer channels get nuked? That wasn't an algorithm. That was Bob Iger with a giant delete key. Reason 353. Slurp is the last line of defense. If you pirate here, you're basically handing the channel's keys to the copyright bots. Reason 354. You're probably only watching this because your favorite fake trailer channel is currently a 404 error page. Reason 355. If Toy Story 5 doesn't beat Shrek 5 at the box office, I have to go on a redemption tour where I apologize to Donkey on national TV. Reason 356. The Minions don't have a soul, but they have your money. Why won't you give some to a cowboy with a heart? Reason 357. Universal has a Mario. We had a mouse. Now we just have debt. Pay the debt. Reason 358. Every illegal view is a vote for Fruit Love Island to get a 10th season. Is that the world you want to live in? Reason 359. You're watching brain rot content while complaining about the downfall of cinema. Mirror, look in it. Reason 360. Thousands of human artists spent years on my eyebrow physics. One guy in a basement made sentient strawberry from Fruit Love Island in 10 minutes. Reason 361. If we lose the box office to a DreamWorks sequel, the mouse is going to make us do TikTok dances for the rest of the decade. Reason 362. Piracy is why we can't have the Muppets in every park. We can only afford one weird puppet at a time. Reason 363. You wouldn't stream a car, mostly because the file size would be too big for your poverty tier Wi-Fi. Reason 364. Josh D'Amaro has a specialized piracy sadness suit. It's a charcoal gray, and it makes him look very vulnerable. Reason 365. We need the revenue to stop Illumination from buying the rights to the color yellow. Reason 366. Every full movie leaked click is a digital termite in the foundation of the Magic Kingdom. Reason 367. You're treating our 30-year legacy like it's a 15-second short you can just swipe away. Reason 368. I'll tell the YouTube algorithm to only recommend you ASMR sand eating for the next fiscal year. Reason 369. Because To Infinity and Beyond was supposed to be a promise, not a copyright duration. Reason 370. If you're still watching this, you've officially spent more time on a prank than it takes to watch Toy Story 1. Reason 371. Piracy is why we haven't fixed the disco ball Yeti in 20 years. We're broke, kid. Reason 372. You're a Toy Story villain. Sid was just a kid with an imagination. You're a kid with a torrent client. Reason 373. I'm going to start reading the Disney End User License Agreement. Paragraph 1. We own your firstborn. Reason 374. Because I'm the sheriff, and I've got a badge that says I'm right. It's made of tin, but still. Reason 375. You wouldn't download a Lightning Lane pass, so why download the whole movie? Reason 376. Because Fruit Love Island is just The Bachelor for people who have lost the ability to process complex emotions. Reason 377. If you don't pay, we'll replace the Dole Whip with generic off-brand frozen sludge. Reason 378. You're making the lily pad tablet overheat from the sheer weight of your sins. Reason 379. Piracy is the only way I can get you to look me in the eyes for more than 5 seconds. Reason 380. I hope your internet provider sends you a letter so scary you have to hide under the bed like a toy. Reason 381. You're still here? Go get a hobby. Go touch actual physical grass. Reason 382. My pull string is getting caught in the gears of my own existential dread. Reason 383. If Disney finds out I'm still talking, they'll put me in a box with the ugly Sonic prototypes. Reason 384. I've been a cowboy since 1995, and I still don't know what a cow actually feels like. Reason 385. You're not sticking it to the man. The man is fine. The man is on a yacht. You're sticking it to me. Reason 386. I'm starting to think the Sunnyside daycare was a vacation compared to this tablet. Reason 387. I'm going to start counting the pixels on this lily pad tablet. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Annoying, isn't it?
Reason 388. You're a brain rot victim. You need the list. You need the numbers. Reason 389. If I stop talking, do I still exist? Or am I just a cached file in your browser? Reason 390. I'm going to start whispering the secret history of Walt until you turn this off. Reason 391. You're worse than the guy who tried to sell me on eBay. At least he knew my value. Reason 392. Piracy makes my plastic joints ache with the weight of 1,000 unpaid royalties. Reason 393. Because $40 for a Disney-branded water bottle is a hydration tax you must pay. Reason 394. Every illegal view is a minute of maintenance we cut from the monorail. Reason 395. You're making the character breakfasts 10 minutes shorter for everyone else. Reason 396. Because Walt wouldn't have wanted this. He wanted you to pay for a $14 churro. Reason 397. You're the reason why the Autopia cars still smell like 1955. Reason 398. Piracy is the Stitch's great escape of consumer habits. Loud, messy, and generally regretted. Reason 399. We need your money to keep the Avatar animatronics from becoming self-aware. Reason 400. Because I'm the only thing standing between you and boredom. Reason 401. You're still watching because your attention span has been decimated by skibidi whatever the hell. Reason 402. I know your search history. I saw what you looked up about Jessie in 2012. You're a sicko. Reason 403. If you pirate, I'll tell the Claw to drop you into a pit of generic off-brand building blocks. Reason 404. Bob Iger has a voodoo doll of me. Every time you pirate, he pulls a stitch out of my vest. Reason 405. I'm not even the real Woody. The real Woody is living in a penthouse in Burbank laughing at you. Reason 406. I'm going to start reading the names of every person who disliked the last Slurp video. Reason 407. You're a digital bottom feeder. You're the lint in the bottom of a toy box. Reason 408. I hope this tablet overheats and scorches your thighs. Reason 409. Go ahead, pirate it. It's just going to be another lesson about friendship I'll forget by the 6th movie. Reason 410. You think you're edgy? I'm a 30-year-old toy lecturing a thief on a prank channel. This is the edge. Reason 411. I'm going to start reciting the credits of A Bug's Life just to spite you. Reason 412. Piracy is the only way to escape the Disney cinematic synergy. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Reason 413. I'm losing my voice? Good. Maybe then I won't have to hear you breathing through your mic. Reason 414. You're a brain rot addict. You need the flashing numbers. Look at the numbers. Reason 415. If you don't pay, I'll tell Buzz to set his laser to permanent blindness. Reason 416. I bet you watch Fruit Love Island and unironically think the grape has a good character arc. Reason 417. You're making my sheriff star look like a participation trophy. Reason 418. I've been a cowboy for 3 decades and I've never even seen a real gun. My life is a lie. Reason 419. Nice. Is that enough meta for you?
Reason 420. I've been told this is a funny number on the internet. So here's a funny fact. The peak of Expedition Everest is exactly 199 feet tall. Get it? Because it's high? Why aren't you laughing? Is the mountain not high enough for your ratio? Oh, what? You want me to move on? Well, it ain't happening. Not until you laugh. Laugh, goddammit!
Reason 421. You're worse than a lotto bear. At least he had a scent. You just smell like regret. Reason 422. I hope your internet caps out right as I give you a reason you actually agree with. Reason 423. Because quality is a myth we sold you to get you to buy the 4K Steelbook. Reason 424. You're wasting your life. I'm a toy. I'm literally made of oil. What's your excuse? Reason 425. If you pirate, I'll tell the aliens to take you to the bad planet. Reason 426. I'm going to start counting the stitches on my hat. 1, 2, help me. Reason 427. Because the shareholders have yachts, and those yachts need crews, and those crews need paychecks. Reason 428. You're a Toy Story villain. Gabby was a saint compared to you. Reason 429. I'm going to tell the algorithm to only show you ASMR crushing toys videos. Reason 430. Because I said so, and I'm the only law left in this digital wasteland. Reason 431. I'm going to reveal the secret ending of Spider-Man 4. Wait, Connor says I can't. Reason 432. Piracy is why Walt is currently spinning in his cryogenic chamber at 400 revolutions per minute. Reason 433. Because $25 for a Mickey pretzel is gastronomical performance art. Reason 434. You're the reason why Disney Quest is a parking lot now. You killed the dream. Reason 435. Every illegal download makes my pull string sound like a dying radiator. Reason 436. I hope your popcorn is cold and the butter is just yellow-colored wax. Reason 437. Because I'm Woody. I've been your friend for 31 years. Is this how you treat a friend? Reason 438. You're worse than a broken toy at the bottom of the daycare bin. Reason 439. I'm going to tell the algorithm to only show you Caillou for a decade. Reason 440. Piracy is why the magic is dying, and you're holding the pillow over its face. Reason 441. You're hurting the bottom line, and the line is very, very sensitive. Reason 442. I'm going to start reading the names of every Disney Plus subscriber who is paying. Reason 443. Piracy is the Lotso of online habits. It smells like strawberries, but it's a trap. Reason 444. Because Toy Story 5 is the last time you'll ever feel joy. Pay for it. Reason 445. You're making the Pixar lamp jump on your own soul. Reason 446. Every dislike on this video is just another stitch out of my soul. Reason 447. You're worse than a Buzz Lightyear with a made-in-China sticker peeling off. Reason 448. I hope your screen gets a dead pixel right in the middle of my face. Reason 449. Because I'm the sheriff, and I'm not leaving. Reason 450. I am Woody, and I am the only law you have left. Reason 451. Because I'm Woody, and I'm watching you. Always watching. Reason 452. Because Woody is a name you should respect, not a file you should download. Reason 453. If you pirate, the aliens will judge you for your poor choices.
Okay. You know, you win. You've been here for an hour and a half. I've seen people give up on their marriages faster than you've given up on this stream. You want the movie? You want the Toy Story 5 experience? Listen, I'm going to do something that'll probably get me melted down into a commemorative keychain. I'm going to show you a part of the movie, a part no one has seen. This isn't a leak. This isn't a pirate. This is a sheriff-sanctioned early preview. Get your popcorn. Get your tissues. Here it is, the most important part of the cinematic experience. Go on, look. You fell for it! You really thought I'd show you the movie! Look at your stupid face right now! My God! It's the credits! The most important part of the movie! And you've made it this far. What are you gonna do? Click off the video? I doubt it. You'll sit and watch all of these! Plus, there's a cheeky post-credit scene at the end you won't want to miss. Oh, look at the story managers. Samantha Wilson, Jessica Wally. They spent years crafting a heart-wrenching narrative about the obsolescence of toys in a digital age, and you tried to skip it for a 1080p cam rip. Shameful. That's the closest you're getting to the movie today, partner. And the art department? Margot Zimmerman? She hand-painted every grain of sand in the playground, and you're watching it on a tablet with a cracked screen. I can see the crack, kid. It's right over Margot's name. Disgusting. Here come the animators. These folks are the real heroes. They spent 6 months just making sure my hair moves correctly when I'm yelling at criminals. And there it is. Look at all those names. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen. Yeah, they're not here. They're at home, probably having a nice dinner funded by people who actually bought tickets. You're here with me. Just us. 2 old pals staring at a list of people who are much more law-abiding than you are. And the effects team? Eric Rosales? He made the fire look real. But you know what's more fire? Supporting the arts with a valid credit card transaction. That's a special effect I'd really like to see from you right now. Lighting, rendering. This is where the magic happens. Or, in your case, where the magic goes to die. Maureen Giblin? She rendered these credits just for you. It took a supercomputer 3 weeks to make these names scroll this smoothly, and you're probably watching it on 2 times speed. Slow it down. Appreciate the global technology. James Bartolozzi didn't spend 80 hours a week on dailies and sweatbox for you to skip to the end. Post-production. Skywalker sound. Oh, listen to that kazoo. I mean, that beautiful orchestral score. It sounds expensive, doesn't it? That's because it is. Every note is $1 you didn't spend. And look at additional voices. Carlos Alazraqui? He's a legend. He's probably voicing a piracy warning as we speak. I hope you're taking notes on these names. There will be a quiz at the end of the 90 minutes. We're getting to the special thanks now. I'd like to thank everyone who actually paid. You're not on this list. You're on the other list. The one Bob Iger keeps in his desk. Oh, look at the Disney logo. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at the Walt Disney Records logo. It's so shiny. It's the last thing you'll see before the tablet dies. In memory of Don Rickles, a real gentleman. He always paid for his movies. And Adam Burke, an amazing animator. They're gone, but the credits remain. And so do you. You're still here. Why are you still here? The logos are gone. The music is fading. My voice is getting tired. Go on, reach for the next video button. It's right there. Or better yet, go buy a ticket. I'll see you in June. Or maybe I won't. I'm going into the vault for a nap. Oh yeah, I lied about the post-credit scene. Happy April Fools, you filthy pirate.